In the growing global marketplace, students will need to excel in both math and science to compete internationally as engineers, scientists, physicians, and creative entrepreneurs. In an assessment done by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, 15-year-olds in the U.S. placed 25th out of 30 countries in math performance and 21st in science performance. This statistic displays how far behind the U.S. is in math and science, which becomes such a large part of the economy and jobs in the 21st century. The U.S. will not be able to compete on a global scale if the education of these subjects is not enhanced in schools around the country. This increases the need for an improved school system in our country and individual states to be able to better prepare future generations to continue to keep the USA the top power. The CVU mission statement is to develop students who learn actively and collaboratively, think creatively and critically, live responsibly and respectfully, contribute positively to their community, and pursue excellence in their individual interests. These align with a lot of the 21st century skills. The main skill that is left out is the use of technology. CVU has overall done a satisfactory job preparing students with the skills related to the mission statement, but there are definitely some important things that need to be improved. The first section of the CVU mission statement is to develop students who learn actively and collaboratively. CVU has ESLs which help improve this category, but there are more things that CVU needs to change. Therefore, CVU is not completely fulfilling this part of the mission statement and the 21st century skills. The ESLs that CVU uses for freshmen and hopes to incorporate into the upper class have greatly improved learning. ESLs display what type of learner a student is, instead of just what grades they get. Also, ESLs show what is causing a student to get a bad grade and what areas they need to improve in. Lastly, ESLs can help teachers see what students need clarification on and what the teacher should change in the curriculum to improve the success of students in the class. This has greatly helped me at CVU. At the midway parent-teacher meeting, the ESLs displayed how one of my weaker areas was my analysis. This helped me get to know what to specifically improve for the future and how to get better grades on writing assignments. ESLs help students learn actively and collaboratively because ESLs identify what type of learner a student is, and they also display what areas a student needs to improve to become a better learner. Although the ESLs are working well, there are still things that CVU needs to change. A suggestion relates to the skills of the new millennium. An article regarding 21st century skills split the skills into two categories, timeless and new millennium. CVU fulfills almost all of the timeless skills, although CVU only addresses one of the new millennium skills in the classes and teaching. The categories not addressed are digital communications, e-publishing, computer-aided productivity, and cyber citizenship. Obviously, these are important skills to have in the new technological age. Finland, which has an amazingly successful education system, incorporates technology and teaches these skills. If CVU were to add these new skills to the ESL learning requirements, then students could be much more successful in the world economy. Also, this could help CVU and possibly other parts of the US to rise higher on the ranking of education in the world. Another suggestion is about the use of technology in schools. As the world goes through the 21st century, electronic innovation is thriving. If this technology was brought into schools, education itself could be taken into new dimensions, to require less teaching and more thinking in a modern way. This would also better prepare students for the real world. I've not experienced a lot of use of new technology at CVU, especially in core classes. Not many assignments involve the use of technological mediums. In the real world, people are exposed to technology constantly, and the future of technology will become an even larger part of our world. It is extremely important to learn technological skills because of their use in major occupations. Therefore, CVU needs to improve in this area. As it can be seen, CVU needs to do more to improve the Learn category of the CVU mission statement. Although CVU has to do more in the Learn category, CVU has done well with the Think section of the mission statement. CVU has taught students to think creatively and critically through project adventure and visual arts classes. The one main thing that CVU could change is real-world application in math. Project adventure involves challenging tasks that require everyone to critically think in order to solve the task. Such a task required students to get through holes in a rope web without touching the rope. Students had to critically think in order to figure out strategy, order, and size that would best work to solve the task. This task was a great critical thinking and problem-solving activity that even involved some creativity. This class has improved my critical thinking skills because how I critically think makes up a large portion of my grade for the class. Also, I want to experience success in the task and make sure that everything stays safe. This causes me to critically think and be creative. PA helps teach students to think critically and creatively because you must use these skills to solve a task. Also, your use of these skills make up a large portion of your grade, encouraging students to use them wisely. Another area where CVU teaches creativity is in the art classes. CVU requires students to take two types of art classes. One is fine art and the other is practical art. Fine art classes greatly rely on creativity. All of the visual art classes make student creativity with topics like painting and drawing. All art that is created involves creativity, and visual art classes encourage students to be as creative as possible. Even acting requires actors to add their own little creative touch. When I took Intro to Art, the teacher directly encouraged everyone to be creative with their art. Creativity even had an impact on your grade for the class. Art classes teach creativity because creativity is a major aspect to all art. Acting involves creativity through props, visuals, and script. Visual art classes are some of the major sections of the curriculum that involve creativity. The major thing that CVU could change relates to the use of all areas of math. Ted says critical thinking is one of the most important skills for students to be equipped with in the 21st century. Ted stated that education should try to incorporate more of the critical thinking areas of math. Instead of just teaching how to solve an equation, schools should focus on real-world problems, formulating equations, and bringing your answer back to the real-world situation. CVU, along with a lot of other schools, focus the most amount of time on teaching how to solve the equation. This should still be taught, but more emphasis should be put on the other areas also. Spending more time on the other aspects of math could increase the depth of student knowledge and also further prepare them for the workforce. In many mathematical related jobs, the problems that need to be solved are real world problems and the solution could impact people. Also, there's the likelihood that you could use a calculator or computer for computations. Because of this, it is crucial that schools focus more time on teaching the critical thinking areas of math than they currently do. Overall, in the think category, CVU has done a good job. There's only one thing they could change, and it mainly regards 21st century learning. The third category of the CVU mission statement is live responsibly and respectfully. CVU is mediocre in this category. There are some good things being done, but an equal amount of things that need to be changed. One thing that CVU is doing well is giving students a lot of freedom. The freedom at CVU promotes and demands students to be responsible for their actions and work. At CVU, I am expected to be responsible for doing my homework and classwork, making up for missed class, and even signing up for classes for the next year. CVU puts a lot of responsibility of education in the hands of the student. Developing responsible students is obviously an important thing, and CVU does a fairly good job teaching responsibility and respect indirectly through giving students freedom in school. One thing that CVU could change in the live category of the CVU mission statement is building an element of trust. Students in Finland are very responsible and respectful. Teachers will leave the room and go get lunch and trust the class to continue working. Students know that they have work to get done and work productively even while the teacher is out of the classroom. They act responsible by working and are respectful of other classmates and the materials they are using. Unfortunately, as I have observed, CVU does not have the same element of trust. Teachers only usually feel comfortable leaving the room for brief periods of time. Also, students rarely remain focused while the teacher leaves the room. Often, students will stand up and converse. I believe that it is important that students become more responsible and become trustworthy so that teachers do not constantly have to monitor the students in their classroom. CVU is doing neither good nor bad in the live category of the CVU mission statement. There are some things that they're doing well, but some other things that they definitely need to change. The fourth category of the CVU mission statements concerns students who contribute positively to their community. CVU wants to include contribution to the community in the education at the school. Unfortunately, CVU does not do much involving this part of the mission statement currently. A major activity that is commonly associated with contributing positively to the community is community service. There are no community service requirements or classes at CVU. This puts it into the hands of the student to contribute positively to the community on their own time and not through the school. Most students would not choose to do this in their free time as it is not required. Because of this, CVU is not developing students who contribute positively to their community. CVU seems to be doing very little to this part of the mission statement. According to Questia, community service helps the student develop, learn, reflect, and apply vocational and academic skills to the real world. Community service helps the student connect the classroom and the real world. Therefore, CVU is not including an important part of real-world education in their curriculum. CVU really needs to work on improving this area of the mission statement. There seems to be little focus on the contribute category of the mission statement. This is an important aspect of learning that needs to be focused on more at CVU. Even though CVU greatly needs to improve on the contribute category of their mission statement, they're doing an outstanding job on the pursue excellence section. The last category of the CVU mission statement is to develop students who pursue excellence in their individual interests. CVU does a great job in this category. Obviously, sports are offered at the school, but the subjects mentioned are mainly academic. CVU helps teach students to pursue excellence through Grad Challenge. Grad Challenge is a project where students pick a topic they are interested in, then they have to log hours in the field learning about their topic. Eventually, at the end, the students create a speech describing the experience and what they learned. This helps students learn to pursue excellence in their individual interests because the students have to find something they are interested in and then essentially become an expert in the topic. This also encourages students to further experience their interests and become the best they possibly can at new interesting topics. CVU also teaches the skill of pursuing excellence in their individual interests by rewarding students who do well in their academics. There is an award ceremony towards the end of each year where students receive an award for earning high honors for 3 quarters of the school year and showing academic excellence in many other areas. Also, CVU will give a free season pass to the Ski Mountain Sugar Bush to any students who earns high honors for 3 quarters of the school year. Obviously, this appeals to anyone who skis because this reward can save you a lot of money. These rewards help students to pursue excellence because students know if they do well, they will receive something in return. A reward for something almost always makes people more determined to do well. CVU has really excelled in this category, and this is an important skill to have at any point in time. In conclusion, CVU has done a lot of things well regarding the mission statement and some of the 21st century skills, but a few major things still need to change. CVU has done a great job in the categories think creatively and critically and pursue excellence in their individual interests, but in the categories of learn collaboratively and actively and contribute positively to their community, improvements need to be made. In the category of live responsibly and respectfully, CVU was even with good and bad. The parts of the transformation that work for me are the use of project adventure, art, grad challenge, and rewards. The main improvements that need to be made are including technology, teaching new 21st century skills, and having community service as part of the curriculum. If suggested changes happen to CVU, then our school could become a role model for other schools in the country. The USA should not have the bad rankings it does in education. CVU can set an example for the country and have a better education system and improve the success of future generations of our students.